Welcome to another episode of Starseed Activations. We just want to ever so gently welcome our host, Jody Powers from Celestial Soul Spa, or visit soulspa.com, I should say. Excellent. Welcome everyone who's joining us. Welcome, Jody.
Thank you, Danielle.
Yes, excellent. So we are just going to open up with a very quick attunement. So if everybody watching can just take a deep breath in and release with a and just one more deep breath in. Beautiful. And now we are ready to channel tonight. And the star people are stepping forward ever so gently, saying, we wish to wish all of you happy holidays and many, many love and blessings, dear ones. Beautiful.
Thank you so much for being here tonight and spending time with us.
Yes. Thank you, star
We're
people.
so grateful. Yes.
Definitely. Okay. So tonight, in my book, My Ascension Guide, we are going to be covering the Mushroom Collective. Now that's on page 196. Anybody on Facebook, I posted this particular page up this morning. This way you guys can always go to Facebook and read the post as we're going through the information. Beautiful. So we're just going to start by reading the first two sentences. The mushrooms on your planet are all connected, both on a consciousness grid and as well as an underground network of cells that allow for electrical communication to occur. So we have what is known as a mycelium network. That basically is Mother Earth's communication or brainwave patterning. And so the star people are stepping forward and they're showing me there is a scene in the Avatar movie in which they take the hair follicles and they connect it to the tree. The mycelium network is that tree of life. That is the access through the root system that allows us communication with Mother Earth. Now, there are many different ways or modalities in accessing this network. Some ways may include diving into meditative states and imagining or visualization of an electrical cord between each individual and the mycelium network in general. This is going to allow each human on your planetary surface connection into Mother Earth's memory grid complex. This is going to allow you access into all time and space. It must be done through meditation states. Now, there are free passes that one may use to access this mycelium network. One such free pass is utilizing the intake of a mushroom. This mushroom can provide different electrical impulses in your biological systems, which allow for different forms of communication in Mother Earth's thought grids. When you dive into these mushrooms, it is important to summon the mushroom spirits. The mushroom spirits will then grant access into a particular frequency bandwidth of that information that that mushroom is attuned to. This is going to allow you access into either the physical reality or the astral realms, depending on which mushroom you select for use. Beautiful, dear ones.
Which mushrooms send us to astral or connect us to astral, and which ones are physical?
So there are many different types of physical mushrooms. We talk about the chaga, reishi, lion's mane. These are all healing medicinal mushrooms that we know about. There are no psychoactive effects by ingesting these mushrooms. However, there is a biological response that may start to form. Some individuals on your planet may also summon mushrooms. The mushrooms are known to populate in the rainforest first because the degree of the frequency of the rainforest allows for Mother Earth to blossom from the crystalline core in that particular location coding. Some psychedelic mushrooms may include mushrooms that are grown on cow's manure, and those mushrooms grant access into different psychedelic lenses, which opens up an aspect of your energetic grid, allowing you to perceive a type of connection with the inner worlds. The inner worlds include the astral realities as well as your interdimensional beings. Each person watching has spirit guides in the inner realms as well as the exterior realms, which may also include different extraterrestrial races helping, guiding, and communicating with you. Yes.
Thank you so much for talking so much and answering my questions, since I don't have a voice tonight and I'm so interested in this topic.
Yes.
So, the star people often talk about the things that we need being right here and in and around us. And so when we talk about the mushrooms in New England and foraging mushrooms, do they have any advice on that, foraging mushrooms?
You must always properly identify each mushroom before any type of medicinal intake may occur. There is spontaneous mushrooms that are also of a lower frequency, and it depends on the frequency location in which you are coming across these mushrooms. However, when an individual has an attunement to nature, maybe they spend a lot of time in nature or they ground and connect to Mother Earth, it shall allow you access into a type of communication in which Mother Earth shall instantaneously summon a mushroom that that individual needs for their personal healing. I've seen this before. Wait a second. They just showed me. My parents have an RV. And it was for like 6 months. My father kept opening the door and there was a mushroom on the step. And he's like, there's a mushroom inside the camper. How is there a mushroom inside the camper? There's no water leaks. It just popped up on the inside of the step. And that's always a sign and a synchronicity that, hey, take the mushroom, go research it first. Download an app, take a photo of it, make sure it's properly identified, and then check and see what healing modalities that mushroom gives. I usually tell him at that point, now go buy the mushroom powder from the store so we know exactly what it is. But that's like an identifier for us. Now, when we're walking through the woods, chaga mushrooms are very easy to identify. And you guys I want you to go online and look and see for yourself if you're interested. But many times walking in the woods, you'll come across these things. If you dry it out, ground it up into a powder, and you just put a tiny bit in your coffee, all of a sudden, that's the #1 medicine. And we also want to check out sea moss. So certain foods start rapid healing in the body. And the whole purpose of eating food is to feel good. And so if we start eating the foods that make us feel good, it allows for our knowledge base to become expanded, because now all of a sudden we're not just focused on how crummy we feel. We are focused on what's next. Now I feel good. Now I can focus on other things. If you have more energy, your mind is going to start to go into different aspects of your world. Yeah, it's beautiful.
So there's chaga, reishi, lion's mane, turkey tail. So we've got a handful of mushrooms that we know are like these powerhouse mushrooms.
Yes.
But are there any others, or are those as powerful as we are led to believe? I'd love to know from the star people about that. Number one.
They're saying that there's a wide variety of mushrooms on the planet. There's too many to count. However, each mushroom may be summoned in attunement to each individual. Saying that is powerful in itself, because if an individual has an imbalance in a particular organ system, then that mushroom may instantaneously manifest along their path, whether it be in a package, whether it be in a forest, or whether it be an image on your iPhone that's like, bam, mushroom, and it's like it's drawing your attention to it. Do not eat the portobello ones. That's what I'm saying because of something I heard. The number one leading mushroom expert, I don't know his name, but he has like a Peter Pan hat and he's on TikTok.
Oh, yeah.
And he made a comment on a Joe Rogan podcast, and he was like, don't eat the portobello ones. He goes, that's a scam. They're poisonous. So just be very aware, like do your research on them. Definitely.
Okay. So I was on a walk up in this beautiful area and came across turkey tail. The turkey tail is always around here. And that's when I looked in the book and I sent this to you, like, let's do this week. I was very excited about it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take that as turkey tail is for me. Is that what we should be doing? Other people here?
Yes, absolutely. And then,
you
you
see
know,
it.
it's like Michael said, in his experience, the mushrooms let you know when enough is enough. That's true. And so I've done it too, where I go through rotations. I'll have them in the tea, and then I'm like, I think I'm good for a minute, and then I put it down. But we should be doing that with all supplementations. So it doesn't matter what food you're eating. Sometimes you eat it. Sometimes it's okay to have a timeout and just put it down and rebalance the system. Sometimes fasts are amazing because it really gets your body back to your own frequency. You have to remember, anything you are eating and drinking, including water and the minerals that is inside of the water, it is changing your frequency from the inside out. That's the reason why food is the fastest way to raise your biological frequency. It's because it's coming on the inside of you and it is reflecting your frequency out. So we literally are what we eat. And the second that we are truly aware of this, it means that every single thing that I put in my mouth should be in alignment with my highest purpose and my highest passion and my highest potential. Because if my highest potential, that potential me who gets up every morning, who's an athletic person, who runs around having the most fun ever every single day, that's my highest potential. If I'm eating something now that she wouldn't eat, then I should just ditch it and get it out of my diet because I want to be that highest potential. It doesn't matter if I actually manifest that highest potential. I just have to shoot for it. The universe is going to reorganize itself so that I end up about where she is, if not her. And that's okay too. We just give ourselves grace for who we are in the now moment. But it's always a good thing to have goals, dreams, desires. If we ever start to notice that our goals and dreams start shutting down, you always want to have a look at the solar plexus. That solar plexus is a childlike mind. And usually when the childlike mind has an imbalance, or even the solar plexus, it allows for a type of distortion in which our goals become distorted. Yes.
Thank you so much for that. So they are talking about on this page or in this chapter, visualizing the mushrooms growing on a tree as you are ingesting them. So why do we have to visualize? What's the added benefit to visualize while you're ingesting them? And why growing on a tree? Because they are very particular with their words. So this one was interesting to me. Why on a tree?
So I didn't reread the post before the video, but my starman gave me a whole visual. And he said when we were writing the post, I had a cup of mushroom tea. And he said, as you are drinking the tea and you are smelling the mushrooms in it, visualize the forest. Because I was going for walks in the forest every day back then. And it's winter now. Visualize the forest and imagine and visualize a mushroom that you need to heal your body growing on a tree. And then when you go for the walk, you will be guided to locate that mushroom.
I love that.
Yeah.
And they also said if it's warm, then you're opening up your heart too.
That's the
so if
tea.
You're drinking the mushroom
the
tea.
Is warm,
That's
so
warm.
it opens up the heart. I probably have to fix that paragraph. Yeah.
I don't know. It sounds really nice.
What paragraph?
Yeah, the third one.
Okay.
This may be done with mushroom powder added to tea. Make sure the liquid is warm because it will also trigger love-based feelings while you are setting the manifestation.
Yes.
Using the process of visualization while you are ingesting the tea, see the mushroom collective growing on a forest tree.
Yes. That's perfect. And when you do
Yeah.
that, then that mushroom will manifest for you. However,
Mhm.
now the thing that I didn't realize is that the type of manifestations that we're all really capable of doing is something that's in a higher frequency realm than the 3D reality. And so it really depends on the attunements you have. Now, Jody, you and I ran into someone who had a mushroom attunement, the star people said, which was also confirmed by him because he said that
Right.
he was told by multiple people he could
Yes.
talk to the trees. And the star people told
Yep.
this particular gentleman, you could talk to the trees and you could summon mushrooms. And when you summon the mushroom, it's very instantaneous because it's a 5D frequency. But they told him he
Mhm.
was able to summon a mushroom to manifest different experiences. So I
Right.
brought up into that conversation, I'm like, that's like Alice in Wonderland. She's eating a piece of food and becoming tiny. She's eating a piece of food and becoming really big. That's what his
Yep.
ability is. I had no idea that Mother Earth was truly capable of making physical changes, but we know that the shapeshifter ability is real. This is a solid fact in my reality. You know, atoms and molecules are under a state of vibratory frequency, and the power of your mind and your psionic abilities allows for us to shift these molecules and to reconfigure them. When we start to do this, it only makes sense that there is going to be a piece of food that manifests that allows us to make this transformation. It's genius,
Mm.
right? Like,
Yeah. And so we're at the moment, we are just talking about regular mushrooms. We are not talking about psychedelics or magic mushrooms.
no.
We are just talking about
Regular
mushrooms on your plate
3D, yeah,
or
forest mushrooms.
nutritious
Yes.
mushrooms, right? So, which kind of mushrooms do you put in your tea?
So I have the basics. They guided me to get reishi, shaga, lion's mane, and cordyceps, and then I got a blend. And what I took all four
Okay.
bags and I blended them all into one cup, like one mixing
Oh,
bowl.
okay.
Yes. So,
Right.
and then I just
And
take
how
a
does that
tiny little
taste?
bit of that and I put it in. Well, it smells like forest. And so when you're drinking the cup of tea, it smells very earthy. So you can
Like
literally
you're
put
drinking
yourself
moss.
in and imagine and drop into that meditation state while you're holding the cup and you summon up that visual representation. Now, we all know that the way to manifest is by seeing, because seeing is believing. You have to see it. You have to believe that you can have it, and then it manifests in the physical reality. Whether it takes you 6 months to a year to manifest, we look at a vision board every single day to assist us in our manifestations,
Right.
which is wonderful. But what I'm telling you is, what if the vision board is only a visual for your body? What if it's more powerful to close your eyes so you're closing out the rest of the physical reality and you're allowing the subconscious to activate and you're summoning different things using more than just the one sense? If you can utilize
Yes.
all of the senses, it allows for timeline shifts in which that manifestation comes more rapidly. Yes.
And senses plus movement.
Yes. So this
That's
is
a
a big thing
bingo.
too. We see different tribes on this planet doing things like qigong. It's energy casting, energy movement, yoga, Reiki energy. It's all energy movement. Children do
Yeah.
this naturally when they roll in the grass. That's the fastest way to rebalance your field. So if you can utilize a manifestation where you're closing out the physical reality and you are casting your energetics. So whether we
Yeah.
take a cup of mushroom tea and we cast that light into the tea, it's raising the frequency of the tea. And when we ingest that tea, this is the same as we do when we pray over the food. When we cast that manifestation, you have to close your eyes. You have to feel all of the emotional expressions of that manifestation and energetically cast it into the mushroom tea. Then, when you drink the tea, that manifestation is going to change your magnetism, which allows for that reality to come spontaneously to you. Yes.
I love that. I think they just gave me a vision of my hands are out like this and I'm drinking like almost from a bowl, like a ceremonial bowl.
Yes.
And so, and there's all steam coming up from it too. Like it
Yes.
looks,
Yes.
and
It's
that visual,
ceremonial. It's not,
it
you
should
can't,
be ceremonial is what you're
you
saying.
can't, you can do it yourself, but it's
Yeah.
more powerful when you have a bunch of people sitting around in a circle, knee to knee, and everybody has a cup and everyone is visualizing, and really try and make sure that people all believe this to be true, because any resistance, anybody who doesn't believe adds resistance onto the manifestation. But
Yeah.
when everyone knows and believes this to be the truth, what'll happen is the entire circle will shift into a parallel reality in which it becomes that circle's truth. This is why it's very important to come together in groups larger than 3. Yeah.
Can you talk about that group's truth? Repeat what you just said.
Sure. So my truth, my belief system, it doesn't have to be the world's belief system. It just has to be mine. The people who are in a magnetic alignment to receive my truth, we form a circle. This circle, every single person who bought my book, we form a circle because now we've come into contact with this energy. When we're in contact with this energy, it allows our manifestation of our physical reality to be fine-tuned, allowing all the information in the book to come into our realities. It's the same thing as a vision board. The more time you spend reading the book and engaging with the material, or even having the book in your sight, and just every day, thank you, universe, for allowing psionic abilities to be fully active among humanity. So we say this, I focus on this, and this is the focus. Anything your consciousness focuses on, it has to expand. That is the way consciousness works. Your particles or waves, the state of matter is in a particle, and it is also a wave. And when the consciousness focuses on the wave, it generates that particle. So the more focus you place on something, it is like putting a spotlight on that topic, which allows that topic to expand. That's what the star people are saying. So if you focus on psionic abilities every day, even if it's only for 5 or 10 minutes, it must expand for you. You ever see people who like eat, sleep, and breathe magic, and then all of a sudden it's like it's there, it's in their life, and they realize it's real? That was me. That's what happens.
Yeah.
You have to eat, sleep it, and be it, and then one day you wake up and then you see it. And now my sessions with my people, I'm seeing them. They're like, I activated it. People are bending spoons and doing all sorts of telepathy. They're contacting the star people and talking to people left and right. So it truly is a blessing to be in my reality for me. And thank you, star people, for guiding and assisting all of us watching. Yeah.
Same. Thank you.
Yes.
And so what else would they like us to know about which particular or how we should be ingesting the mushrooms? Do they have any other?
They are saying in a hot tea is great because it gives the earthy smell. However, there are certain rituals which must be eaten raw, and that is because the frequency is stronger raw than it is seeped. It's something to do with the aura of the mushroom dulling when it gets heated up past a certain degree. However, raw is very strong. But it really depends on the type of manifestation each individual is doing, and because it all comes into energetic casting, they're saying.
Okay.
So it just depends on what it is that you're trying to manifest. If you're trying to manifest something that requires you to be in a particular frequency wave where you are ingesting more of the mushroom's light, that light really resonates into the energy field and it allows the manifestation to come stronger. Or if you're just trying to ingest a tiny bit of the mushrooms, which triggers the senses and it starts a connection into the mycelium network, you don't have to eat raw mushrooms. You just have to have a little bit in the tea and then imagine and visualize being connected energetically to Mother Earth. You don't even have to imagine or visualize a golden net underneath your feet. It will automatically connect you when you just tell it to. And then after you feel, because you can feel Mother Earth, and when you feel Mother Earth, it is going to allow you the emotional feeling of oneness. And that emotional feeling is going to allow you access into bits and fragments of her knowledge base. She goes very gentle on you, dear ones, for it is a lot of knowledge that she is holding from the beginning of her time, not yours. And so she may give you an image, she may give you a smell, she may give you a vision of your past life. And that's okay too. When you start to ground and make this connection, you may ask her questions. You may feel as if you are connected to a form of current or electrical nature. This transition is going to not only allow you access into Mother Earth's memories, but there is a form of energetic bonding between individuals and Mother Earth. You will be able to also see into other people's timelines, and that must be done with a great responsibility. There are guides and spirits inside of Mother Earth who are watching to make sure that it is only done in the highest and best potential. And so we must always recommend using an open heart and really truly grounding and connecting to your planet, because Mother Earth can also send an electrical impulse when the individual is barefoot standing on her surface to allow your energetic grid complex to fully be rebalanced and brought back into realignment. This may happen when you ground into the mycelium kingdom. The mycelium kingdom is Mother Earth's brain. Your pineal gland has a crystal in it. Mother Earth herself has a crystallized cave in it. That crystallized cave is sending electrical impulses utilizing a piezoelectricity, which allows for this communication to go among the entire grid. This grid then has a full effect on your human consciousness. This grid is also affected by your solar energetic frequencies. Each plant must take the solar energetics and pull that sunshine, utilizing it and grounding it into the root systems, which then allows the mycelium kingdom to touch those roots, absorbing that knowledge from the sun and changing the manifestation of your consciousness. This is allowing for a spiritual revolution on your planet. Now, this process you may connect to, and you may also summon knowledge or information into the grid structures by ever so gently allowing Mother Earth to download new information from the sun. She will then start to develop this two-way communication with your solar body, which is going to allow you access into that frequency bandwidth of knowledge. This is going to impact not just you, dear ones, but the entire human collective consciousness. For when you download knowledge into Earth, she herself will change the way all of humanity thinks, which is a true blessing. And so all frequencies must be changed from within you. You must open your heart to allow this knowledge to come to you, and you must have the desire to upgrade the human consciousness grids. For when you start doing this on a daily basis, it has the greatest potential to allow for a very gentle and easy ascension into 5D frequencies to come for all of your species. Yes, excellent.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Does that star female have a name she goes by?
Yes.
I feel like we know her.
Her name is Teresa.
So beautiful.
So
Thank you so much, Teresa, for that.
Thank you.
I'm going to have to listen to it several times.
Yeah. Me too. Somebody write it down.
Yeah. So basically eating mushrooms is a form of grounding, but we don't think of it as grounding, right? We're always like, go out, touch the earth, do whatever. But eating mushrooms is grounding.
It's because of the type of, because the star people just showed me. They're like, the mushrooms are connected to the mycelium kingdom. So it's very similar to, imagine a piece of brain. That brain had all of the electrical voltage running through it. And so, not that we want to eat brains, but what happens when we eat a piece of the mushroom is we are connecting to the mycelium kingdom, which allows our energetic grids to connect to that energy, pulling the information as we need it in the form of an instantaneous download. Yes.
And it really does look like a brain. So many of them when they're growing and they're kind of, or look like algae, all of these healthy things. So how do the mushrooms affect our brainwave patterns?
Okay, let's see. By changing your neuro connections, dear ones. And so each mushroom has the potential to grow a new neurolinguistic pathway inside of your mind. This neurolinguistic pathway is going to not only allow for a type of brainwave patterning to manifest, but it is also going to have an effect on the biological form, which is when your mind and your body is connected. So these mushrooms are going to allow access into different frequencies of Mother Earth's brainwave patterning. For one example, and this is just an example, dear ones, but let's say you have an artist on your planet and an individual was to tune in to his energetic grids. You may feel the artistry, that aspect of his life. That mushroom is connected to that aspect of Mother Earth's life. A different mushroom may be a different experiential. And so it may be a doctoral mushroom. Maybe it grants the individual access into more scientific knowledge. Each mushroom is going to have an effect on the way an individual acts, resonates, belief patternings. It may shift, and it may also shift your instant manifestation of each and every moment while you are still encoded with the frequency of that mushroom. You literally are what you eat. And so what this means is, for about 3 days after you eat any substance, there is trace resonance in your energetic grids, which allow for that manifestation to fully come to you. It takes the biological form a few days to detoxify from any substance, as well as any nutritional supplements, which is natural, and that is the way your biological form works. When the individual is consciously aware of how to cleanse and purify his energetic grid structures, it shall allow for this process of transmutation of energy to be manifest more rapidly. For you will be consciously aware to cleanse and purify your energetic grids, allowing for any type of imbalances to be ever so gently wiped away, allowing you to shine brightly no matter what information you are engaging with in your holographic simulations. Yes.
So what about regular mushrooms at the store that we get? Not talking about the portobello, just the cap mushrooms. Are those just a waste, or are we gonna?
Nothing on Mother Earth is ever a waste, right? Everything has its purpose. Even the things that we don't see having a purpose, it feeds something. So the portobello mushrooms may not be in alignment with us, but there's other organisms out there that require that mushroom to eat. So nothing is ever wasted, right? The vulture eats the dead things. That's how this works. 3 on the clock.
When they're when they're so like mass produced and all of that kind of stuff.
Well, and this is where we as people are starting to come back to the knowledge of bringing it back to nature. And so, it truly is a blessing if you guys can locate an organic farmer that lives very close to you, and you can start to get fresh. I would drive to a farm if I could. If I knew where one was, I would literally drive to the farm and get the fresh food every day. I mean, but I have that kind of time on my hands to do it, because I know when you eat it from the ground to the mouth, it has the most amount of light ions that it can possibly have. And that is really, we're eating the food to get energy. Your light ions are your energy. So when we start to eat from the plant vine to the mouth within a couple of hours, that's the best way to do it. Now, the peppers at certain places are put on a truck from Canada. And by the time you get the pepper, you cut it open, there's a baby pepper growing inside. How many days does it take that baby pepper to grow? How many days do you have it on a truck? Is it refrigerated? Is it not refrigerated? We want to eat it from the plant to the mouth when we can. Now, of course, we can't do this all the time because we live in the real world and there's, we have to go to the supermarket, get our stuff, depends on where we're living. So we have to also be realistic to a point. And so the best thing to do in that situation, when the light ions looks dim, we are energy projectors. And so we can cast our energy far and wide. And so the only thing that you have to do is you have to hold that food in your hands and you have to send it love and light, allowing the light ions to recharge. Now, we don't want to just do this once. And so if you can make it a manifestation every single day to go in your house first thing in the morning and say, I love and bless all my food. Just see yourself as being grounded and connected to Mother Earth and thanking Mother Earth for giving you all the food in your house. Because honestly, all the food comes from Mother Earth. She gives it. Even if you're eating meat, that meat had to eat the grass. That's a wrap. So we have to give thanks to Mother Earth that we're standing on because she's the one who provides for us literally. So, but when we do that, we love and light the food. You do that every single day. During 2020, we ran to my parents' house for a couple months because of whatever situation was happening. And I had a loaf of bread last me 4 months. We ran. I was out of the house for 4 months. When I came back, the loaf of bread was still soft and there was zero mold. And I was like, wow. And I was blessing the food morning, noon, and night back then. So I've seen it work in my reality. It's beautiful. And it changes the way your entire life goes. Because when you are thankful, that's really the only thing that we have to do, even for the hard things, even for the things that are crummy and we don't like. And the hardness of the physical life. Like, I don't want to get out of bed this day. When we are thankful for that, thank you for giving me this moment to recalibrate myself. When you come into yourself from thankfulness and gratitude, it unlocks so many doors in the field, which allows you to raise your frequency very rapidly. Yes.
Yeah. And just in that one image they gave me of having your hands out and having in a bowl, and my face was like, I was smelling. So if you can just think of whatever you are having, it doesn't have to be this fancy shiitake or lion's mane mushroom tea, perfectly hot and ready in a ceremony with your knees touching people. That's ideal and that's really special. But just having your cup of tea and just honoring it is what I'm hearing. Just honoring it more than gratitude.
If you don't like tea, you can use warm water. Because water holds memory. And so we can also cast our energetics into that water. If you use hot, it opens the heart chakra and it allows for the manifestation to come quicker. But anything that is a warm liquid, you can cast a manifestation into. And so a manifestation is not only, it's what you see, what you smell, what you taste. It's all these things, imagine them. And then after you imagine your manifestation, what life do you want to live, right? Cast that all into that warm cup of water and then be grateful for it as you drink it. And what that actually does is it changes the magnetism in the cellular structures, which allows you to radiate into that timeline manifestation. Yes.
And so Nancy Hadley says they sell mushroom growing kits. And I've tried those. They were like $20. And it was a huge mushroom that it was like $50 a pound when you go to the store.
Which is perfect.
So, yeah, that's a good.
Yes. Grow it yourself. Because when you grow it yourself, you can bless it every day as it's growing. Now, once again, for the mushrooms, when we're growing foods in nature, you want to give, and I know it sounds weird, but your blood, sweat, and tears. You have to give some DNA to the plant because the plant is going to absorb your DNA, and then the plant is going to go, oh, I know what nutrition Danielle needs so that her body is healthy, and it'll start sucking all that nutrition into it to provide for us. That's how Mother Earth works. She provides for all her children, right? And so the way our septic systems are working right now is not in alignment with Mother Earth. We're supposed to have it so she is filtering all of the waste from us. She filters all the waste from all the other animals on the planet. She should be filtering ours as well. And so what was the show? They made Earth homes, and the gentleman, Google Earth homes, everybody, and you see what that guy's doing, because he figured it out. He's like, we're going to take the sewage water and run it under the tree, and the tree is going to filter it. Nothing is going to smell. It's all going to be nice and pretty. And then it's like, once it's filtered, it's providing nutrition. So we were always taught, your waste is waste. Well, why is a horse's waste not waste? Why is my waste waste? Well, that's because there's a business of it. And the truth is, these people who are going back to Mother Earth and back to nature, they are realizing that they can take this waste, and in 3 days, they can compost it back into utilized fertilizing soil. And so that man had his hand all up in this dirt, and he was like, it doesn't smell, it's just dirt. And it was made from our waste. It took him 3 days to do. And so that's not what we were told. We were told you have to put it in the ground and have it pumped, and then they're pushing it into the ocean in certain parts, and we're not doing that correctly at all. So when that changes, it's going to allow for the circle of life to become even stronger. Because just think about it. Our cattle has a certain range of diet, and that range of diet goes into the manure. We take the manure, we're utilizing it on the plants. All the nutrition gets passed through. I know this is like an uncomfortable topic for some people, but this is the circle of life here. Well, us humans, we eat a wide variety of food. And so our range of food is more information, because the wider the range of food that we eat, the more information that's in our stool, it comes out. And so when we start taking that and utilizing that to grow the plants, then, I mean, what's the outcome of that? The plants are going to have more access to more knowledge, because knowledge is light, and that light is in the information. Right. And so then we take it like that, and it's like, okay, what are those plants going to look like? Because we know that when you eat certain plants, it does things like increase your IQ span. We have certain vitamins and such, or, well, it doesn't matter what types, that are increasing your IQ span. So when we recognize this, it makes us think, well, what's the true potentials of when we get this circle of light thing down pat, and we start working with Mother Earth instead of against her? Right?
They keep giving me this visual of us having a nice dance with these mushrooms and with these things. Like, so we try to interpret it as, oh, we talk to the plants, or we water them, or we love them. But they just gave this, I don't know, just kind of swaying. It's your whole energy. You want to talk to them, you want to sing to them, you want to just bless them or whatever. But whatever that your energy is enough.
It's bonding with
them.
Do
it.
Yes. It's bonding. It's absolutely genius. Okay, we have someone said synchronicity. Another channel I was listening to 45 minutes ago said Spirit gave her our waste. I guess our waste information, or Spirit gave the waste. How amazing is that? Two people are talking, because this was a total random conversation. Not what I expected to talk about today, but here's what it is. Right?
It is real. And there are a lot of people out there getting out there and doing things differently. And it's okay. You know, there are a lot of things that are wrong, and we're doing what we can. Yes. Yeah, we're doing what we can, and more people are coming out, and more people are listening. So that's perfect. I feel like we only have 15 minutes left, and I wonder if we should shift to the psychedelics.
Okay. So I don't take psychedelics, and the star people, they always promote us to tune in to the frequencies of the psychedelics through inner meditation, because they're very strict on telling people to try something when it could be dangerous for some of the viewers. So, I mean, I could tell you psychedelics open up the astral realms. That's what they do. They are known on Earth. The star people are stepping back. They don't want to comment on this, but there are tons of videos that you can watch that speak about different psychedelic experiences and such. But once again, You have to know your attunement. The location is key. You have to have, your guides. And even then, sometimes things go wrong. So do your research before engaging in any type of materials is the best.
Right. And I think what they've been saying to me on my journey is you don't need them.
Yes.
You
Yes.
don't need them. And this might really help somebody break through. They might help somebody with their PTSD. They might help somebody out of depression, all kinds of things.
Yes.
But
But meanwhile,
really
you
know
have to
that everything
realize,
is within you.
yes, everything is within you.
Yeah.
And yes, there has been
Yes.
tons of case reports where some people get healed, but then there's always that one person who goes into it just like everybody else and they get hurt. So, and that's where the star people said, we have to know our attunements. And right
Yes.
now, how
And
would
trust
you know?
yourself what you need.
Yes, you have to follow your
Trust
own
yourself what you
intuition.
need.
Yes, your own
If all of a
guides.
sudden
Each
you
person
can't
is
get
different.
mushrooms, it's not for
Yes,
you.
it's not for you. So,
Yeah, it's not for you. And it's not necessary.
yeah.
That's the
It's
most
well, we
important
don't
thing,
need
I
it at
think.
all because we can go into breath
Yep.
work meditations and we can activate those brain centers, which gives us the same exact experience without taking anything. Now,
Yeah.
what else is there? Binaural beats can activate different hemispheres or synchronization between the left and right hemispheres, which then also grant the individual access into that particular reality. So, free pass of any type of mushroom or substance, we will call it, is not always recommended because there are dangers associated with it, especially because there are many different chemical reactions which may be included in your pesticides, or as well as if the individuals growing such products are of a positive light or a negative light. All of this information from the moment that plant or substance is generated or birthed shall have to come into consideration when utilizing your judgment when you're taking it, is what they're showing me. So you have to take the
That
entire
makes a lot of
life
sense.
of that substance into consideration. And
Yeah.
who knows that life?
Yeah.
It either comes from a pharmaceutical company or you're getting it from a street vendor. Like, who knows? So you really have to be very careful and aware of what you can do. Yes.
Yeah. Good thing. It says, treat mushroom medicine seriously. And that is true too.
Yeah.
And we don't need any of that. That's the most important thing.
Yes. Well,
Are
the
the ones
mushrooms, they're also stepping forward right now and they're saying the mushrooms that grow on the trees, because there's a vortex energetic inside of all of your trees that is allowing the source
Oh.
frequency to radiate directly from inside Mother Earth, allowing this frequency to vortex up all of the trees and touch into the human consciousness grids above you. That vortex energetic is pulling minerals as well as water up these trees. Any excess minerals are usually deposited in the mushrooms that grow on the side of the trees. Not every tree mushroom is safe for your ingestion. So just once again, dear ones, be aware. Do your identification properly. However, these minerals are very high in monoatomic minerals, which monoatomic elements shall allow your energy field to become complete, especially gold. For gold activates your brainwave patterning, which is another reason why the mycelium kingdom is as electrical in its voltage. And that is because the amount of monoatomic gold in that mycelium kingdom is very high, allowing for a transmutation of energy to flow between the mushrooms as well as the grid structure under the earth. Yes.
I am very, very grateful for having seen The Last of Us. I can't believe that nobody has mentioned that, The Last of Us. So it's like a dystopian series about fungus taking over and all that, because I wouldn't be able to visualize it, what you're saying, the network underneath without having seen that movie, which is really neat. So
Now,
instead of
the
being
bigger
afraid of it,
question,
yeah.
not to cut you off. Did you
No.
actually see the movie, or did you not understand it? So the star people shifted your timeline so that your memory allowed you the knowledge of watching the movie so that you would understand it. Let that sink in. Mind blown, right? Because that's how they do their downloads. It's like, oh, you need to know the information. Here's a memory.
Yeah.
Now you know it.
Yeah, honestly, because I don't watch things like that normally.
Yeah.
But I had heard about it. It showed up so many different times. I'm like, all right, I'm going to watch it.
Yes.
And it was very interesting and very cool. And so when I saw this, and it talks about the electrical nature, and it also talks about an underground network, like the wording of this was just makes so much sense to me now. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so would you like to read the last paragraph?
Sure. Let me see. The subconscious mind is fully capable of instantly healing you right now. Making changes to the programs running in the subconscious mind is of extreme importance during these times. It is a higher perspective of the consciousness grid and should be fully explored and experienced in this time. So, your subconscious mind is able of instantaneous healing. Now, when we start to talk about diving into the subconscious mind, when you are closing your eyes, you're activating the subconscious mind. When you're driving a car, watching a movie, or say you're in the zone of focus, that subconscious mind is activated. So when you are closing your eyes and you're using other senses and you just come to a place of stillness, it truly allows that ego mind to be cast aside just a tiny bit, allowing the subconscious mind to see and perceive what you are willing into your imagination. That imagination is going to start programming the subconscious mind when you say, I have, or I am, I see, I know. All of these different affirmation key terms allows you to truly change your magnetism. And the individual magnetization of your field is what controls your manifestations as a whole. Your heart and your emotion grid, which is connected to your heart chakras, is what controls your magnetism. That heart then allows for a 6 feet wide bubble of energetic grid, which then allows these attunements to come into your reality and to shift your current perspective. Now, your current perspective is the image that you are seeing right now in this moment. However, in 1 minute, the image may shift. That image shifting can be controlled by the foods that you eat. This includes any conversations or interactions with other individuals. When we dive into the heart chakra, it allows for us to change or modify our magnetism to such a degree in which we can fill our energetic grids with so much love and light that it allows us to shift automatically into a higher potential timeline. This higher potential timeline is going to look like a more loving, caring, kind life or way of being they are showing me. It is beautiful. And we just want to conclude tonight by just everybody take a nice deep breath. The star people are stepping forward. They are going to be doing an energetic attunement on each individual watching, whether you are here now for the live or you are watching later on. If you do not wish to have the attunement, it is okay to say no thank you now. However, if you wish to do so, take a deep breath in. You may do this in your mind as well. Deep breath in. Release with a beautiful, dear ones. Excellent. How did that feel?
This was fantastic.
Yes, yes. And we just want to
This was like
say,
a special Christmas present
yeah,
from the Star people.
always. They're truly a blessing. But we just want to say thank you, dear star people, for channeling with us.
Mhm.
Thank you for assisting us in our healings and our journeys in this lifetime. And thank you for guiding us and supporting us. And so we just say we love and bless you, star people. Thank you very, very much. Excellent. Yeah. Okay. What were you saying, Jody?
I'm thanking the Star people. So are you doing your shadow work
Yes,
Zoom tonight?
absolutely.
Oh,
Oh,
you
that's
are. Oh,
everyone
wow.
who's
Okay.
watching here. So you guys probably noticed that Jody can't really talk today. She has some laryngitis. So why don't we all come together and just do a little healing really quickly for Jody so that she's able to heal this quickly. Okay. If we want to just take one more deep breath in, and then when we release, I want you just to imagine and visualize sending Jody a bright blue blast from your throat chakras and imagining her fully healed and speaking correctly. Excellent. Deep breath in. Jody, you don't have to do it. How did that
Thank
feel,
you
Jody?
guys.
How'd
It
that
felt
feel?
really good, and I got a nice visual of like a bunch of blue orbs. It looked
Yes.
like bubbles coming from the ocean.
How
It was really
beautiful
nice.
is that? That's
Yeah,
gorgeous.
it's beautiful. Thank you
Excellent.
guys.
Excellent.
So it's
So we
shadow work
are
Zoom.
doing the shadow work Zoom, starts at 8:30. Anybody who wants to come is absolutely complimentary. I forgot the word for a second. It's complimentary. You just have to send an email and I send you the Zoom link. And then this way you guys can come hang out with us and we do healings and all sorts of fun modalities. There's usually a meditation. We do this because we're a tribe. And when we heal each other, we heal the world. And so we come together as one tribe to really do this. We do it twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. So just send an email through daniellipton.com and you come get the link and we'll talk. It'll be wonderful. Yes. Anybody who does want to have a session with me, my sessions are also available at daniellipton.com. The Tree of Life organization is wild and amazing. And so we're doing great things in the world. For everyone who doesn't know, I'm also the founder of the Tree of Life organization. And so this year we were able to put together a donation fund for the kids in a local school. So they all got hats, gloves, and slipper booties. And so the school said, thank you very, very much for the entire organization, which includes all of you guys watching us today and everyone who donated. Thank you very much for making their Christmas shiny and bright. And so it was just an honor and a pleasure to be part of that mission. And thank you guys for joining me on my mission to raise the frequency of the planet and to really spread the evolution knowledge far and wide for free to every single person who is seeking it. If people are looking for the knowledge, it's all free. I have all these videos out on YouTube where we speak on every single topic and there is no fee. So the knowledge is here for us. We need it. The star people are giving it to us. Thank you, star people. And so thank you guys for joining and thank you for being part of the tribe. It is with many, many love and blessings. We say you have a great and wonderful night and happy holidays, guys.
Thank you, Danielle.
Thank you, Jody.